Welcome to I Learned a Thing in the Bathroom from Dollar Shave Club, where we explain something very complicated in mere minutes to occupy your brain while you shave. In this edition, we'll be discussing the most badass moms in history, as explained by someone who sounds smart because he's British.
Let's start with Anne Jarvis, the woman for whom Mother's Day was actually founded. A social activist and community organizer, during the Civil War, she used her network of Mother's Day work clubs, originally created to educate families about health, to ensure soldiers on both sides received medical treatment, food and clothing. Following the war, she worked tirelessly to mend community relations between the two factions, and after her death, a National Mother's Day was instituted in her honor.
Well, that is awesome. But were there any more kick-ass moms?
There are. One of the most famous was Olympias of Macedonia, mother of Alexander the Great. They do say that behind every great man there is a great woman, and for Alexander, born in 356 BC, it was most certainly his mum. Olympias' relentless behind-the-scenes machinations, which it is believed included conspiring in the assassination of her husband, his latest wife, and their 2 children, cleared the path for Alexander to become king. She also cemented Alexander's godlike reputation by claiming that his real father was not, in fact, King Philip II of Macedonia, but the god Zeus himself.
So she kept herself busy then?
She did. But for a mum who took things even more directly into her own hands, look no further than Queen Boudicca. Ruler of a region of Roman-occupied Britain in 60 AD, Boudicca led one of the most famous uprisings of the Roman Empire, and in doing so, she burned the city of London to the ground. Admittedly, this was back when London, or Londinium as it was then, was little more than a large riverside settlement. But between this and the other 2 cities her forces attacked, around 80,000 Roman troops and Britons living under their rule were slaughtered.
She does not sound like a mom I would want to mess with.
Indeed not. But there are other ways to be a badass mum that don't involve violence. Take Marie Curie, for instance, the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, the only woman to win 2, and the only person ever to win them in 2 different sciences, physics in 1903 and chemistry in 1911, Curie was a trailblazer in every way. Although she eventually died from the effects of the radiation she studied, and by the way, she herself coined the word radioactivity in the first place, she passed her determination on to her kids. Her eldest daughter, Irene, won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1935.
Nice! Are there any more badass American moms?
Of course. The most badass American mum of them all, Harriet Tubman. A former slave who would go on to work as an armed scout and spy during the Civil War, Tubman helped around 70 slaves to escape over the course of 13 rescue missions, using a network of safe houses famously dubbed the Underground Railroad. During the war itself, she became the first woman to lead an armed expedition, guiding the Combahee ferry raid that freed over 700 slaves. Even when the war ended, she wouldn't quit fighting, and campaigned for women's suffrage right up until her death at the age of 91.
Be right back. I need to go call my mommy right now.
Tune in next time for more I Learned a Thing in the Bathroom. And in the meantime, head to dollarshaveclub.com for more podcasts and a big old pile of grooming products.